Frank Cisco Show, ladies and gentlemen. Don't touch that dial. We got a good show here. Got a friend from way back, and now come to visit Norristown, the county seat of Montgomery County. Mike Grant. Now, a lot of people remember him because when he was fighting in the area, Atlantic City, New York, we had two and three busloads of people gone over to see him fight in New York and Atlantic City. And back when we first met, he was around 25 years old. Like now he's 39, ready? And I'm 88. We just want to, let you know how old we are. So, but he's been fighting. He fought for the world heavyweight championship of the world, Lennox Lewis, and he lost. But he came back, and he fought in Johannesburg, Africa, and knocked his opponent out in 13 seconds, or 13 or 17 seconds of the last round. Knocked him out, okay? And he became World Boxing Federation champion of the world. That means it's part of the world because you have another champion from Russia, Poland, or someplace over there. So that's one thing that Mike's going to go after. Okay, going to go after to be the overall world champion. So we're very happy to have you here, Mike. Weighing 250 pounds, 6'7", and I'm going to say Norristown, Pennsylvania, out of Atlanta, out of Chicago, out of Paterson, New Jersey, and Bluebell. Shake hands, man.
Hey, buddy.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. Mike, nice having you here. I know you were in the airplane flying in from Atlanta here, and so tell me now, you're in Norristown, high school, with a lot of students. You're here, how many years ago? 25 years ago?
7 years ago, I was, I think we did this is a reunion. So I was here 7 years ago, sitting here part of the same table with you.
Right.
But before I get started, let me just say thank you for having me on your show. And it was a tremendous fight and everything. We'll talk about that later. But it was a 7-year reunion since we've been here. And I live in Atlanta now. So you called me up and you said, Mike, I want you to come on my show. I said, I'll be there.
You promised me you'd be on my show.
Yeah.
And I remember then way back when you were here, and you only had, I think, around 16 fights. You were undefeated at the time. And I made a prediction. I said, this guy's going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world. So now, how many years later, 25 years, I can say, yes, he is the champion of the world, and here he is, the front page of the newspaper, winning the championship. Okay, and here's another shot of him fighting in New York. It's one of the shots. And he's 6'7", 250 pounds, and he has that long reach. Pow, pow, right? Ooh, my own shoulder out of there. And then here's another shot, and before we leave, for the cameraman and we got little autographed pictures for him. You'll be ready to sign some pictures. So that's one thing about him. He's always, in the years that I've met him and been with him, he's always says, come on, let's go visit the high schools. Let's go to the junior high schools. He's always wanted to get involved with youth. And I'm very proud that he is a married man. He has 3 little bambinos, right?
Absolutely.
When I knew you we first met, Don Turner came over and says, Hank, I got a fighter, and I'm going to be away. Will you help train him a little bit while I'm away? And Don Turner, he called me. He knew I was involved with a fight. I never knew Tom Turner. So that's how we got to know each other. When sometime he'd be traveling, I would be with you at the gym, working out.
Correct.
And you went on and on, 16, 17, 18 straight knockouts, undefeated, And now you're world champion, but you want to become the world champion, right?
Right.
So now, tell me all about yourself, right? Now, you are married, and your beautiful wife.
Absolutely.
And the little bambino's names.
Right.
And I was at your wedding.
Okay. You gonna let me
I had
talk
a tuxedo. and who else was there?
Evander Holyfield.
Holyfield was there, right? A lot of celebrities, yeah.
Yeah. So it was a good day. Yes, I reside now in Atlanta, Georgia. Moved from here in 2004. the reason of the move because of warmer climate. Had some family that reside there, and you know, and in Georgia, economy-wise, you can kind of stretch the buck a little bit longer. But it was a great decision on our part. Got ourselves wrapped in a nice little home church there, and basically from our standpoint, family standpoint, it was a good decision for us. My wife moved her sister there, and so now it's becoming like kind of and plus I have family there as well, so it's almost like a big old family tree there out there in Georgia, so it's pretty good.
Well, you have religion is a front burner for you, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Helps you in your fights.
It's come first. It comes first with me. You know, Jesus Christ is basically the head of my life, so I started with that and I went in with that. So I'm a true believer in the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So I just will continue to follow in those footsteps.
It's all right to be religious too, but you better be in shape.
Oh yeah.
You know that. You hear about the priest and the rabbi. Priest and rabbi were sitting ringside of the fight, and the one fighter was blessing himself like this. And the rabbi said to the priest, "Father," he says, "is that going to help him any?" He says, "Boy, it ain't going to help if he ain't in shape and he don't know how to fight."
Absolutely.
So
right.
you got to get in there. So you have that religion, you have that condition, and that's what makes you champion. And live the right life, right?
Exactly.
All right, now, you were in Johannesburg, South Africa, right? Mm-hmm. What's it like down there? Did you get a taxi? How'd you move around?
Good question. Actually, as soon as I get off the airport, from the airport, you know, everything's on the opposite side of the street. So, you know, they drive on the left side of the street. And,
oh, yeah? Like in England?
Yeah, like in England. So
how many cars did you hit?
No, I didn't drive it. I didn't drive it off. So a limousine came pick us up. I had stayed at a hotel called the Palazzo, and 5-star hotel. The amenities was fabulous. They treated me like a king. It's just...
How about the food?
The food was great.
Did you have any spaghetti?
Yes, I had some pasta. I had no spaghetti, I had some penna.
I mean, anytime you come to my house, you have the spaghetti, ravioli,
right.
babalugis.
I can indulge in some penna pasta, some lasagna, but no spaghetti exactly. Bow tie pasta, so they're really not really big pasta eaters out that way, but they really are established on curry.
Curry.
Yeah, curry, a lot of big bison, beef. What was one of their main dishes? Oxtails, a lot of steaks. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
Oxtail.
Yeah.
My father used to put that in the sauce. It gives it another flavor. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I tell you, going to South Africa was
They like it down there?
Wonderful experience. I tell you this. Like I said, they treated me like a king there. I mean, I couldn't do nothing on my own. I always had someone there waiting on me hand and foot to get ice, to whatever. I mean, I couldn't do anything. And they just made sure that I was accommodated in every area of my life there. So for 11 days I was there. The altitude was a little bit higher.
Oh, yeah? Well, that affect you? Because I remember, I don't know who it was, I think Lennox Lewis fought down there. It was an elevation. He got knocked out. He just said he couldn't stand because the higher you go, the less air you have.
Exactly.
But that didn't affect you?
No, actually, when I got there the first couple of days, I would say it probably took about a week for me to get adjusted.
Oh, you get there a week before?
Yeah. And the time change was drastic as well. So if it's like 10 o'clock in the morning here, it's 4 o'clock there. Oh. Sorry, 5 o'clock there. 5 o'clock there. So if it's 10 here, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon there. So that was kind of tough because a lot of times when it's, I guess, 6 o'clock here, p.m.
You get that jet lag.
And it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry, 1 o'clock in the morning over there. I'm up. I can't even sleep. So what I do, I get up and I go run out there in the streets in South Africa. And I was kind of terrified a little bit.
But now, Mike, the guy you fought, where was he? Was he from England?
Actually, he's from South Africa, but he moved to
I remember
California.
that name. He was well known.
Yeah, Francois Boza. Yeah, he fought everyone, but he moved to California, and
He moved to California.
He moved to California, but then you know, then he came back for this fight, whatever. But he fought all the great champions. He fought Mike Tyson. He fought Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
He fought Michael Moore,
Right.
Evander Holyfield.
They're all top fighters.
Right. So those are the only guys he lost to.
He lost to him.
Yeah,
Right.
those are.
Well, he lost to you too.
Yeah, he lost to me too.
He told me to get in
At
line.
the time, get in line, right? At the time, those were the only guys he lost to. So I knew that I had a great challenge on my hand.
Now, according to the news article, it says that you were behind in points. Now,
Yeah.
you know, here you are. He's originally from South Africa, right?
Exactly.
He's originally, right. So he's a hometown guy, even though he moved, right? So the hometown guy always has that little bit of edge when it comes to a close decision, you know. So you were behind. So according to your trainer, you have a trainer. What's his trainer name?
Jason Jorgensen.
Yeah, now how is he?
Jason is a real, he's a student of the game. He's very humble. And that basically sparked the interest of me wanting to work with him. He didn't come in thinking that he knew everything, which is a turnoff to me. So by him just being humble and everything, I just adapted and adjusted.
Well, he
to his
told
knowledge.
you going into the last round, it was a 12-round fight.
Absolutely.
World championship fight. And he told you you were behind, you have to knock him out. And you knocked him out in what, 13 seconds or something?
Actually, it was 13.
What'd you do? What'd you hit him with the left, the punch, the boop, boop, beep, pop?
Actually, it was 13 seconds to go in the round 12. And I kind of mustered up with rail punches and kind of
What would you hit him to the body or hit?
I can't even recall that time because I was so caught up in the moment that you can't really recall what kind of punches you threw at the time. But as I go back and replay it, I knew that a couple of shoe shine punches started it up, and which basically dropped his hands down, and he got far out, an extension on me, and I just threw 2 jabs in the right hand.
A couple of jabs.
Yeah, and
straight right hand?
yeah, straight
Well,
right hand.
that's what your trainer said. He's going to develop more of that long jab. You got a 72-inch reach, right?
Yeah, no, not 72, 86.
Get a tape measure here.
86.
86?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I got to reach you about that much. Right. Oh, my own. Hey, now, one other thing. You hit the headline one time when Mike Tyson was fighting Holyfield and he bit his ear off, right? And you were in the ring there. You were helping Don Turner time. Tell me what happened. Tell me what happened to the ear.
Well, yeah. At the time, what were we talking about? That's over 10 years ago. Let me see. At the time when he bit his ear, everybody was shocked. Everybody was shocked. And so we all climbed into the ring, just basically for the safety of Holyfield and basically the safety of Mike as well. You know, the ear was on the canvas. And
the piece of ear.
Yeah, piece of ear was on the
you
canvas.
picked it up.
No, actually what happened, one of my colleagues, one of my friends that was a part of the camp, he picked it up and put it in a napkin. And he said, and he said, Mike, I have the ear. I said, just hold on to it till we get back to the locker room. And so, because I didn't want to hold it. So we actually, I looked over my shoulder. I said, this fight is not going to continue. And I told Holyfield, let's go. Let's go to the locker room. And so we all just basically started exiting out. And I guess Mills Lane, looked at, saw what was going on and said, forget this fight's over. It's not going to continue. So we all go in the locker room. And everything, we're just sitting there, and I'm standing outside of the door just monitoring it. And he said, Mike, he goes, here. And so I look at it and said, it had blood, it was covered with blood and everything. So I walked back into the room and said, he goes, yeah, I know you can't put it on. So we stuck it in the ice chest.
And that was the end of it?
That was the end of it,
Nobody ever saw what happened to it?
No. Actually, it probably became a piece on eBay.
How big was it? About big as my thumb or so?
No, a little smaller than that. Probably at the tip of your pinky finger.
Yeah, okay.
Something like that,
But he chipped it right off.
Yeah.
But when Holyfield was fighting, and they were in the clinch, and he took a bite of it.
Yeah.
I forget what happened. Holyfield turned around and
right, and actually,
pain.
he actually jumped in the air, and it was a hurting sensation, man. It was unbearable. So no one can basically express what type of pressure, what type of pain that someone go through when, because there was no Novocaine in that shot when he got bit. So it's like that was straight raw pain, and so. But Evander was a guy to do it with because he's a guy who can endure and in pain and endure with pressure and everything. So
right.
he was a guy to basically do it against and come out victorious.
You never fought Mike Tyson?
No, never fought Mike.
No. You never worked with him or anything? Did you ever train with him or anything?
No, never. No. Only close thing that we had with Mike is that we had the same trainers, and at one point in time in my career, and also we had the same manager.
Oh yeah, just
Bill Cade.
Beginning, yeah. But you changed then, that right?
Yeah.
But getting back to when you fought in New York, you fought Galata, New Jersey, right?
Yes,
Galata.
Jersey.
Yeah.
That's when we had a busload of people.
Oh, we had 2 busloads of people that came from Norristown.
2. It was more than that, baby. We had
more than that. Oh well, that was a busload, and.
Yeah.
And what happened, and Galata was a real favorite. You know, he was an overwhelming favorite to beat you. And then they had like a big plane load, around 300-400 people in a plane that flew over to see the fight. I don't know whether you know about this or not. But all the people from Norristown, I was selling the tickets, and we had all one section, And Don Turner's wife, she had a movie camera. Well, it was HBO. Mm-hmm. They took the camera from her. You can't take pictures when the thing HBO is running. They took her camera from her,
Oh,
but
wow.
then we got it back after. We got the police involved. But so what happened? These people from Poland, they were rah-rah, and they all half bombed. They were drinking on the plane. And then when they got to Atlantic City, another 5-6 hours of drinking. So by the time they got there, they were all bombed, and rooting and hollering, and they had a little disturbance up there when the Norristown people had to move,
Right.
But that was a heck of a fight, really.
It was a few fights. It was
Yeah.
me fighting. It was me fighting in the ring, and some of the crowd was fighting too as well.
I know. They were making remarks, and people from Norristown to move. We had to get the police dogs there and everything. But that very seldom happens. It's just the idea that
you know what, though?
They were celebrating too much.
You know what? It was fun for everybody. everybody got their hands dirty. It was fun.
So, now, tell me, what do you do to prepare yourself for this fight? Okay, I know there's a couple fighters, local kids in Norristown that want to do a little fight and all. But your day, you start in the gym, you go in, you do a lighten up, right? You loosen up with shadow box.
Well, actually, if you're coming in from a novice standpoint, you definitely want to warm up and stretch. Maybe ride the bike for 10, 15, like 5-10 minutes.
Loosen up.
Yeah, loosen up and then stretch. You always want to run first before you stretch. Never stretch first before you run, right. Because you can't cook with cold grease. So you have to basically run first and then stretch.
Right.
And that will basically loosen up your muscles and all the lactic acids in your body. And then from that point on, like for a person starting out, you want to get with a good trainer. Then from that point, just basically you want to start off with shadow boxing.
Right, shadow boxing.
Shadow boxing, yeah.
Loosen up.
Mm-hmm. Or basically, if there is no bicycle or to ride on or some treadmill to jog on, jump rope for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And do that. That can
road work is good too. Road work is one of the best, I guess.
Yeah, it's excellent. Yeah, forget about it.
Road work.
Excellent. Yeah. Right. Nothing can put the gas back in your system but that road work. So it's road work is very excellent.
Then you go in boxing 2 or 3 rounds, right? And then heavy bag afterwards.
You shadow box at least because you want to know what you're doing. So, shadow boxing in the mirror so you can see what you're doing. I can't tell you how many rounds not to do because if you did 1 million, it's not enough because you always want to see correct mistakes on yourself when you're shadow boxing in the mirror.
Right. Keeping your chin down, keep that jab comes up, that shoulder's there to block it. Right hand side, catch left hook.
Now, if you want to make a short day out of it, then you know what? Like I said, do all the particulars like stretch. Like run and warm up and stretch and everything, and then shadow box probably 3 or 4 rounds and then hit the heavy bag. Because a lot of kids just basically like to see their power. See, because the kids, their wisdom is their strength. Right. So basically, what they can do right now. So they're thinking about being strong, and I want to hear the bag when I hit it. Yeah. So they're thinking about strength right now. So I said, okay, if you want to make the bag pop and jump around, shadow box for about 3 rounds, and then we go right to the heavy bag. Right. So, and let them hit the bag, move the bag around, and be like, wow, I did that. You know what I mean?
And I remember when I went to New York, my trainer was Charlie Goldman, was with Rocky Marciano's trainer. So I'm hitting the heavy bag. And I went over there. He's trying me out to see if you know, if you're going to take me. I want him to manage me. He says, well, we'll try you out. So he put me in, and I hit the punching bag, and then I sparred. He says, okay, I'll manage you. You know, he thought I was good enough to be managed. Okay, but one thing he told me, I was punching the bag, and I'm going like this, bang, bang. You know, I want you to punch the bag up high. That way you keep your arms up high. Boom. See. So then what I would do, I'd punch the bag. And then hit the bag, and then I would push it away from me and move around. I pushed the bag. He stopped me. Charlie Goldman says, wait a minute. That's a punching bag, not a pushing bag. I don't want you to push it. I want you to punch that bag. And that's the boom, boom. Everything was a punch. See? Little things like that, you know, because you get in the habit of pushing. And I refereed fights. I refereed professional fights. I wrote Joe Frazier's fight, okay? And I see some of these fighters, when they're in the clinch, they turn around and pushing the guy away. You're wasting energy. You're pushing. You're wasting energy. Let the other guy push you away. Let him get tired.
Well, a lot of times, what you do in the ring, like in training, is what you're gonna do in the ring. Now, if you want to push a guy, it's not a bad thing, because
put him in position.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, push him in position.
A lot of times, when you push a guy, you get him off balance. And you get him off balance, and that's one of the great times to attack, when he's off balance and he can't punch you back. So, I wouldn't take away pushing somebody back. I think I would probably add it into a.
But I'm saying in training. I'm talking about in training. So you get in the habit of not punching. Every punch is, you know. And it was always one. It always had to be a combination. Never. Always had to be a left, right, boom. Always be a combination. Not just one punch.
Everybody's different, Rock. So you know, Charlie, that was Charlie's way. That was Charlie's way, basically.
Yeah.
Wanted you to constantly keep moving your arms, keep moving your hands, because he wanted to establish in basically muscle memory, so that you can remember to keep punching and keep punching and keep punching.
Right.
And at the end of the round, keep punching and keep punching and keep punching.
Right.
So
that's
yeah,
it.
That was it. That was his game plan.
You know, another thing I noticed as a referee, I noticed a lot of times that when I break a clinch, when I break them, be ready to fight. But a lot of guys go out and go into a dance and wasting energy, and their hands are down, you know. And so I always, when I was training somebody, I'd say, as soon as you break, get right in, because then you get the guy while he's going into the little dance, you know. So that was one thing. But you know, like Danny Buccaroni was a great puncher, straight right hand, boom. But what happened? It would take him a half hour to get set to throw the right hand. He would stand there and go boom, boom. And then he had to get through the whole motion to get in shape to throw it. So you got to be ready to follow through. Boom, boom, right?
Exactly.
And that's your. Now I read where your trainer says he's going to develop more on your 86-inch reach, right?
Well, we're actually going to start targeting that area now. I mean, we should have been attacking it before, but what happens? You only can do what you're dealt with, because there's not too much of a great sparring in Atlanta, Georgia. So the caliber of guys that I had access to, you know, they weren't the type of guys that you want to exercise those abilities on, because, you know, a lot of them won't spar with you no more, you know, if you beat them up too bad. Yeah. And then, so it becomes, and then there's the other asset. You don't have as many heavyweights in Atlanta, Georgia, as you do here in Philadelphia.
Right.
So I ran across a couple of hiccups like that, but overall, we definitely will.
And do you find it tough to get sparring partners, because a guy your size and weight and all that, they can punch?
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty hard for you to get sparring partners, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you do that?
Well, you know, just Rock. You have to go with your best asset, basically, whatever's given to you at the time, And then if we use a guy, we'll use him. If we can't use him, then we just keep working on the heavy bag. So like right now, there's some people who does not spar at all. Like Evander Holyfield right now, who's 48 years old.
Is he gonna fight again?
He's still fighting, and he doesn't even spar anymore.
You don't?
No, he just basically hits the heavy bag for like a
why
lot
not?
of rounds.
Why
well, he's of age. His body can't get beat on pretty much now.
Oh.
Listen, he's 48 years old, Rock. So his body really can't take too much punishment of what it took already.
Right.
So he has 48 years, and he's fighting right now, still in existence right now, fighting right now, which I find that kind of crazy for me. But he's still fighting.
He's still down in Atlanta?
He's still in Atlanta, and he does not spar at all.
Oh, no?
He hits the mitts, he hits the heavy bag, jumps the rope, speed bag, everything. But
he's so experienced. He's so, he had the experience to be able to move and hold. He just about knows just about
and
what
that's
to do.
and that's what he's going off of, because actually he's been fighting over 20-something years. I want to say, if he's 48, Rock, he has been fighting at least 28 years, maybe 30 years.
Right, and he don't waste any punches. He don't waste any time. He don't do any fancy dancing or anything. Everything's right there. He's ready to punch at all time. He's always in position. Yeah. Now, even when he misses, then he boom come up with the left.
Yeah. So,
and all right, now you're looking forward to fight this. What's it? Russian? The guy from Russia?
Well, actually,
what's the scoop on that? Now, I want to know about it. People in Norristown. We're going to load the buses. We're going to go by airplane. We're going to go by helicopter. We're going to go by submarine.
Boy.
Go ahead. Now, tell me.
All right. The situation with that, Rock, is that my name went in a hat to fight on. It was 3 names, and my name went in that hat. And so basically, I guess they want to take this fight because they have to stay kind of in ordinance with the sanctions, with the WBC, the IBF, and the WBA. So they're required that they must fight. So instead of taking me right now, I just come off a fight right now. So
got that one.
Right. In their eyes, looking out of their eyes, I'm just coming off a fight. Let's not get Mike right now because he's fresh, still coming off that fight.
Right.
No, let's not get him right now. So let's probably wait. They went with someone else that's probably been inactive for about a little over 8 months, 8-9 months. And so that's the mentality of the Cliscos right now. They don't want anybody basically coming off a fresh win and keep going. Because
they don't want to get you while you're hot.
Exactly, because you make a hard fight. You make a hard and difficult fight.
Right.
So, I mean, they don't want to take somebody at that level right now. So they kind of wait until you're inactive, and which is going to be difficult because I'm not going to be inactive. I have a rematch clause set to fight.
This guy wants. Oh yeah, that's right. You have a contract to fight this guy again.
Yeah, I have a rematch clause to fight him again in March. But I don't have
March.
To. Right.
Where?
March, late
Same
March.
place?
Either going to be South Africa. Rock, slow down. Either going to be South Africa or it's going to be in Las Vegas.
In Vegas.
Right.
Come to Vegas, then we'll go to Vegas. We'll get a plane. We'll rent a plane.
You said submarine.
Submarine. Well, they need water. You want to build a canal? I don't know. We'll go there. We went there, and let me tell you. And that bus, going over to the fight, we had a lot of my paisans there, right? And we had hoagies. You could smell like an Italian restaurant every time we got there, But so you might have to fight a return bout.
Yes,
maybe in March.
I have there's a clause in the contract stating that I have to have a rematch with him in March, late March.
Well,
it would have been February, but since he got knocked out, they have the 90-day clause that he cannot fight. Actually, the 90-day suspension where he cannot fight within 90 days.
Now, you made friends with Cunningham. He used to be a quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Tell me something about that. He lives out in Vegas, right?
Yes. Randall's
he's a minister now?
Yes, he's a minister. Randall's a good friend of mine. I met Randall back in '96 and at Evander Holyfield's house. And we actually just kicked it off since that point on, man. He's been very inspirational. Basically, he supports me as well as I support him.
Or the church?
Yeah.
You go to his church?
Yeah.
When you're in Vegas?
When I'm in Vegas, correct. So Randall is a nice and a good asset to someone I can call on, rely on, just basically hear good word from. He's a good family man and everything. Wife is beautiful. I mean, just the whole concept. Ronaldo's been a good inspiration as far as business, as far as religion, and just a good spirit.
Yeah,
Just a good
well, it's
spirit.
good. I mean, hey, look, I don't like the idea of all these athletes that you know they're supposed to be role models and they turn out to be fooling around, get abroad in every town and drinking and driving and this, the Pope, and doing a lot of other things. That's not good. So you got to keep that religion in you. Keep that you know your family. Keep everything together. That's what makes a successful role model. I don't want to find a guy that because he can hit a baseball or he can run through the line and then they don't live a proper life. That's not for me.
Gotcha.
You understand?
I understand, sir.
Okay. Now, when will you start training?
Funny you say that because my clock hasn't slowed down yet, but coming from that altitude, my clock hasn't adjusted here yet. So, I mean, I just fought like 2 weeks ago. So, I've been running.
Oh, running the
Running
best.
on the street, yeah, just running because my body can't settle down right now. But, you know, I would say probably by the end of this month, it'll be settled down. But I'll probably start training towards the end of this month.
And where are you going to train? Vegas?
Yeah, no, in Atlanta.
Atlanta?
Yeah.
And who?
And what I'm gonna do different this time is basically fly in some sparring partners.
What?
Fly in some sparring partners.
Oh.
To basically help me better my jab, better all of my tools that I have.
Yeah. Well, that's it. You got to take advantage of that long reach, you know, because the only thing, this guy's from Russia. He's going to be as big as you. He's pretty big.
Well, if I fight those, then that's this. If I fight the Russians, I mean Klitschko's, then I won't train in Atlanta.
What's that guy's name?
Vitaly Klitschko and Vladimir Klitschko.
Whatever. I
brothers.
can't even pronounce them names.
I guess.
Then in Italian, forget about it, Rock. Bacarapuca. But I know what I'll do. We'll tell them, hey, they get on. When they fly over, they'll most likely come over with a couple plane loads and get them all bombed, you know. And maybe we'll make it a lot easier fight, you know. What do you think? No?
Hey, Rock, you know how to make it work.
All right. Now, tell me a little bit more about your wife. What does she do now? She's just taking care of the Bambinos?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a team effort. My wife right now she just graduated, got a master's in education. She's also a teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at Dutchtown Middle School. She was a real estate agent, working on being a broker, but then the economy smashed up everything and kind of slowed everything down, that whole process. And so she, basically came me outside and said, basically I have a place in my house my quiet time.
Yeah.
And she basically came and sat down and said, babe, I think I want to go back and get my master's. And this was about 2 years ago. So I said, okay, cool. So she went online, and the University of Phoenix jumped online, and I basically started the process. And she's got a master's in education.
Yeah, when she was over here, she worked over at the Silver Springs for children there. Yeah.
Correct.
I remember she was making an application, and I happened to know, I think it was Dr. Holton that was helped her, and we got her work there, and they liked her the way she did a good job. I think you went over there and visited with the kids.
Yeah, she does beautiful work, man. She's a person that you can rely on, trust on, and everything. And they're loving her down there in Atlanta, Georgia. Every school, cause she teaches at another school that my sons go to, and then when she go check on my sons and my daughter on their progress, what's going on, they want her to work for their school. So it's like because they like her like that. She brings a lot of attention. She brings the right knowledge to the game. And she's no holds barred. She don't take no mess.
Right.
So it's like she knows. She gets it from Papa.
I remember you were living down on in Black Horse, and that little house you had there, and you had to bend down to get in.
yeah, the shotgun house.
Oh my God! And then from there, you lived in Plymouth, and then you moved to West Norton.
Right.
What's the name of that settlement? I forget now.
The Regency.
Birmingham or?
No, Regency, and then the Regency. Yeah.
And then you moved over to the Bluebell. Had a house built there, you know.
Right.
And that was nice. That was big.
One thing I gotta say about my people here is just that people in Norristown, the people in East North, the people in Bluebell, they didn't bother me. It was cool because I was a gentleman and they was a gentleman and politeful back. So it's like they never bothered me. They never bum rushed my home. You know what I mean? Asked for autographs. No, it was cool. Everybody was cool, and I got along with the whole community.
I know. You came.
It was just love.
You made numerous visits to Norristown High School. They went to the tech school out at Roosevelt Field. We had some affairs going on. We went out there, and you signed autographed pictures. In fact, you're going to sign some autographed pictures for the cameraman and the kids in the studio here. Well, students in the studio,
Gotcha.
right? So, Norristown. I want to hear when you fought in New York, Atlantic City. It's from Norristown, Pennsylvania, Mike Grant. I want to hear that when you fight for the world championship.
Okay. I had no.
If not, I'm going to go up. I'm on the ring and get that announcer and say.
I had no control over that.
Well,
it's just that he was going off some past experiences and he used the same knowledge.
I went down to the boxing commission. I told him on your license, your boxing. He's from Norristown, Pennsylvania. You remember that? Right.
Okay, I'm gonna have you talk to him.
I'm glad you told me. Yeah. You know, I think, Mike, half hour is over. We had a nice talk. We reminisced about Norristown, about you, about family, your fights, you know, and it's been a pleasure, you know. And all these years, when I made that prediction way back, and you were only a 25-year-old young guy, 16 wins, and now you got that crown. You didn't bring the belt with you. So next time you come, bring the belt, and then we'll, but this is Mike Grant. Here he is, ready to roll, okay? And here's one where he's fighting. We've thrown a nice right hand, catching the guy. And then this is when I never forget, I was going into New York City and the billboards, the big billboards. There it is, when he was fighting for the championship of the world, you know. All right, he didn't make it that time, but, you know, he got knocked down, he gets up, and now he's champion. You know, it isn't how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get up. So, and then he never lost a fight in the dressing room. You win or lose a fight in the ring. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Mike, thank you very much for coming here. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for allowing us to come into your home. And that's all. When Mike fights again for the championship of the world, all you Catholics, you light two candles in case one blows out, okay? Until we meet again, keep bobbing and weaving, and may God bless each and every one of you. Thank you very much. Okay, Rock.